This is Pete Krause. He's here going to speak about, he's filling in for Charlie Martin and Rob Loughery, who are our current commissioners. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. I am not much of a public speaker, so you'll indulge me a little bit. And you've all been sitting here for quite some time, so if you want to stand up and stretch a minute, please feel free before I bore you to death. Charlie and Rob are both at an event this evening. It's a YWCA honoring women in Bucks County, so it was planned some months in advance, so I apologize for their not being here this evening. I want to congratulate you for coming. There are a lot of places you all could be this evening, and the fact that you're here paying attention to what happens in your local government. I like the way you do it from the most local to the county-wide, too. Local government, being a rock rib Republican, my belief is that local government really is the most important government. And the veneer that holds our republic together is a pretty thin fabric. And the people who commit themselves to being engaged in their community do heroic work. They're the workhorses of the democracy. So thank you for coming out here this evening. Andy gave my speech for me. If you're from Bucks County, and I assume you all are, you know you live in one of the most beautiful places in the nation. I served 10 years as Congressman Jim Greenwood's chief of staff. And I can tell you that there are very few places in Washington where you say, oh, I'm from there. People say, oh, I know where that is. And believe me, in Washington, everybody knows where Bucks County is. It's one of the most beautiful little places in the world. And it's really well run. And a lot of that has to do with Charlie Martin. He's been a commissioner for 4 terms. It's sort of tragic that the federal government has done a favor for us in this regard, but it's pretty much an easy comparison to make. We have the national government, which is burdened with $14 trillion in debt. We're looking at a $1.5 trillion annual deficit. The federal national budget is a runaway freight train, which hopefully Republicans in Washington can begin to slow down before it goes right off the cliff. The last governor saddled the current governor with a $4 billion deficit, and they had a rainy day fund of $1 billion in Harrisburg, and Ed Rendell spent all that money too. So there are some real challenges there. Bucks County's not in that position. Bucks County has a rainy day fund of 10% of its budget. Standard & Poor's 2 weeks ago said the United States might lose its AAA rating because of the recklessness of its spending. Bucks County just got a AAA bond rating from Moody's, the best rating a municipality can get. There are a lot of communities in this country, states and counties and cities, which are burdened with enormous long-tail pension obligations, which they have no idea how they're going to manage. Bucks County's pension is also in very sound shape. So you have a very strong county, and it provides remarkable services. When you think about the quality of education in Bucks County, we have one of the best community college programs in the nation. We have now 3 campuses. So we have a strong educational system. And if you're a gray hair like me and you spend a lot of time at the library, the county library, you know that we have a great library system. We have a county nursing home, which is one of the best in the country. So it's a very well-run county, which is why people move here and want to live here and raise their families here. And the county commissioners, the degree that government really is at the margin anyway in our lives, except the federal government, which now wants to do everything for us. It's really about opportunities to succeed and live and raise a family. Rob Loughery, I've known him since he ran Jimmy Greenwood's campaign in 1994, 95, his first campaign. He's a very able young man. He spent about 4 years working for the County Redevelopment Authority, where he put together the county's Enterprise Zone program, which is a very successful program, and the nation's first brownfield revitalization program. And the county's recovered hundreds of acres, thousands of acres of land that was previously abandoned for manufacturing purposes. In fact, the company that he's a managing partner of, he was until he became a county commissioner, was very much involved in revitalizing the former Roman Haas site in Lower Bucks County. If you're familiar with it, it was a Superfund site at one time. It now employs 100 scientists at a major research facility. So Rob has some real skills when it comes to running a business. He's a local boy. His dad was the pastor of St. Paul's Church in Palomino Farms. He grew up in Warrington. He played football for Central Bucks East, went to Dickinson College, graduated, and is also was commissioned in the United States Army Reserve. And when he came back here, he's raised a family. He lives in Bedminster Township, a little small farm up there with his wife Kathy and their 3 kids. He was also the past chairman of the Bucks County Historical Society and was very much involved in the expansion you see at the Mercer Museum here in Doylestown. So they're a very able team and well balanced. Charlie has the age and the wisdom and the gray hairs you need, I think, to really understand how to manage an enterprise successfully. And Rob has the vigor and the energy and the insights in sort of new technologies and new opportunities that present themselves. There's no question that the future is challenging. Everyone has to buckle their belt, tighten their belt. County government won't be immune from that. But I think you've got a good, strong Republican team who will carry the victory in the fall. And I think, not to put too much of a slant on it, but if you look around the country where Democrats have governed for extended periods of time, they don't look like Bucks County. They look like Detroit, or Illinois, or California, or New York State. I read the other day that in the city of Detroit, 47% of the people are functionally illiterate. Good luck with the future when that's what you've got. So, you know, one last thing, just as an aside, Andy talked about the Government Study Commission. I actually wrote the Home Rule Charter for Bucks County in 1978 when we had our last Government Study Commission. And you know, I've learned a lot since then. And one of the things I've learned is I'm not sure you need more people governing you. Delaware County has 13 elected officials. The nice thing about Bucks County is you have 3 people who are accountable to you. And the truth is, if you want to meet Rob and Charlie, it's not hard to do. They have been all over this county day and night. I don't think Rob's seen his family in the last 2 weeks because he's new and he's just recently appointed, but he was nominated for a full term. So I think they're a good team, a strong team. With your help, they'll win the primary on Tuesday, May 17th. You look like a group of voters to me. And then in the fall, they'll need your help again. And I think we want to keep Bucks County a Republican county with strong Republican government, with the sound fiscal policies, which are sort of the hallmark of good Republican government, good local Republican government. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
That's safe here.
Thank you very much.